Hey, what's up, Aaron here, and in just a moment I'm going to share with you my morning routine. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and talk about how I found this, because this is kind of a crazy story. So, in life, everything happens for us, not to us, right? So, what was it? June of 2018, I got injured, okay? I was going up to slam dunk the ball with basketball, and I felt my shoulder, and it felt like it was dislocated. Right, and it was just a sharp pain. I've never felt that before in my life. Went to have an MRI scan. They said I have an inflamed supraspinatus tendinosis, whatever that means, right? So anyway, I went to acupuncture. I spent thousands of dollars trying to find a solution to my shoulder. I couldn't train. I didn't train for months and months and months. And then because I couldn't train my upper body, I thought, well, you know what? Let me just train my legs. So I went to train my legs, and I remember doing 100 bodyweight squats one night. Next morning I woke up and my ass felt like weird. So I got the lacrosse ball, put it against the wall, started rubbing my ass against the wall with the lacrosse ball, and all of a sudden I couldn't walk. I got sciatica. If you don't know what sciatica is, the sciatic nerve is the longest nerve in your body. It goes from your lower back all the way down to your foot. And if that's severed, that means you're paralyzed. You can't feel your legs, right? So this nerve was blocked, it was impinged, and so I couldn't walk. And it was the most excruciating pain I ever felt in my life. So this took me on a journey to figure out why I got injured on my shoulder and why I got sciatica, right? So fast forward to December of 2018, I actually figured it out. I went to this specialist in London, and she helped me realize why I got sciatica. And it was because of my hip mobility, right? I had poor external rotation of my hip, which meant that my piriformis muscle, basically your muscle underneath your glute, basically was working too hard when I was squatting, okay, and it got inflamed and pushed against the sciatic nerve, gave me sciatica, all because I had poor hip mobility. And in my shoulder, same thing. Shoulder, I had poor internal rotation and external rotation on my shoulder, and I wasn't strengthening those ranges of motion, so that's why I got injured, because I was doing too much pushing and not enough pulling. All right, so basically she gave me this routine I'm about to share with you, which is called controlled articular rotations. It's taking your major joints through their full range of motion every single day. And this process, over time, actually improves the range of motion in your joints. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hey, what's up? Good morning, Aaron Darko here. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you the morning mobility routine that I do every single day. Now, before I get into it, let me just talk about the importance of this, right? So think of it like a dentist, okay? If you go to a dentist when you're 45 years old and you haven't brushed your teeth every single day for 45 years, what do you think your teeth are gonna be like when you go to the dentist after 45 years of not brushing your teeth? They're gonna be pretty horrible, right? You're gonna have cavities, you're gonna have all these issues with your teeth. Now, think of me as a dentist, okay? So if you come to me after 45 years of not cleaning your teeth, what can I do? Well, I can clean up the mess a little bit, and I can teach you how to take care of your joints moving forward, how to take care of your teeth moving forward, right? So it's the same concept with joints. We don't move our joints every single day, and then all of a sudden we pick up our phone and then we throw our back out. It's not the act of picking up the phone that threw our back out, it's the act of not moving our spine every single day that made our spine not act like a spine, and then all of a sudden it just gives way, right? So think of this, what I'm going to show you today, as the brushing your teeth for your joints. Every single day we need to be maintaining our range of motion and our lubrication in our joints, because if we don't use it, we lose it, okay? If we don't use the range of motion that we have, we lose it. It's like we're all born with the ability to do a deep squat, but most adults, especially in America, especially in the Western world, can't do a deep squat. Whereas here in Asia, a 75-year-old guy, his knee is like over here, over his toe, because he's been doing that position, he's been sitting in that position every single day for 75 years. See, he uses his range of motion regularly, so he gets to keep it. All right, the reason why we can't do what we used to do as kids is because we're sitting in chairs all the day, at desks all day, 8 hours a day, and that's the reason why. So now you understand that what I'm going to tell you today is what you should be doing every single day, and there's no limit to it. So any rep number is fine, okay? So long as you're moving your joints, your major joints, every single day. That's the key. And over time, you'll open up more range of motion in that particular joint, which will help you in your exercises. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, what I want you to do is I want you to brace. Okay, so you're going to take a belly breath and lock that air down in your stomach. Okay, now you're going to tense your arms, tense everything in your legs, tense your whole body. Okay, and all we're going to do is going to put our chin to our chest, and we're going to move round in a circular motion like we're going through the numbers on the clock. I do 3 times each side. Try not to hike the shoulders. Once you've done 3 on each side, you go back. So I've done 3 on the left side, and now I'm doing 3 on the right side. You can close your eyes for this, it feels really good. This is the cervical spine. Are you serious? No one wants your food. Just trying to sell that food. Okay, so next we do the cervical, thoracic spine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our shoulders like this, and we're gonna bend from the hip, okay? Sorry, we're not gonna bend from the hip, we're gonna bend from the upper back, okay? So we're gonna basically arch our back. I'm gonna show you from the side. So it's not this, we're not hinging, we're literally bending from our back. Now in this position, we're gonna rotate to the left, go back on the left shoulder, extend the spine, think of elongating your spine, over to the right side, and then back round. And then we're gonna do that again, back on the left shoulder, extend up, all the way to the right, and then back down. To the left, up, and back. That's 3. I do 3 on each side. You can do as many or as little as you want. You could just do 1 each side, if that's enough for you. This routine takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Obviously it's going to take longer because I'm explaining it. Okay. If you don't elongate your spine, you're going to feel it in your lower back. So you got to think of extending your spine, like lifting your spine up, okay? That's how you mitigate feeling it in your lower back. All right, so that's the thoracic spine, which is the upper back. Now we're going to do shoulder blades. I always say the technical term is scapular rotations, okay? But for the lay person who doesn't know about that, it's shoulder blades. So this is your shoulder blade, okay? So we're gonna move it right now. So shrug your shoulders to your ears. I can't talk right now, I just woke up. Shoulders to your ears, squeeze your shoulder blades back, keep your arms straight, go down, like get your shoulders dipped down, they call it depression, and then move them forward. Up to your ears, back, down, forward. Keep your hands by your side, up, back, down, forward. 1 circular rotation. And then we go the other way, anti-clockwise. Back, up, forward, down. Back, up, forward, down, okay? You can either do it like this as well, if that's easier for you. Hands a bit wider than shoulder width, and you're doing the same thing. Back, down, forward, up, back, down, forward, up, okay? Those are 2 variations you could try, whichever one feels better for you. Okay, so now we're gonna do shoulders. Okay, so this one is really important. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get our palm, put it down by our side like this. We're gonna brace our whole body, pack that air in our stomach, push through the ground with our feet, squeeze our glutes, tense our right arm. We're going to use our left arm for this. So with the air packed down, the reason why we do this is to send tension through that joint. Okay, the more tension we send through the joint over time sends the central nervous system reaction like, oh shit, we need to use this joint, so we need to send more oxygen to this joint, and over time your joint actually improves and your range of motion improves. Okay, before I used to get my shoulder here, now I can get my shoulder here without pain. So shoulder flexion. This is when you lift your shoulder up, okay? So what we're gonna do is you're gonna go to where you feel comfortable, okay? If you can only get to here and your shoulder starts hurting, that's fine. We're gonna do it here, okay? If you can get higher, but no shrugging. So I'm gonna show you what it is. So we're gonna just brace, shoulder up. When you can't lift it back anymore, you have to twist. So we want to get up, think about getting our bicep facing the other side. Okay, so we're going to twist and keep twisting as we rotate backwards. Keep twisting, try not to move the torso, keep the torso square. Keep twisting, keep twisting, keep twisting, and then we're here. So we're ending up with the back of our palm facing our thigh, okay, like this. This is called internal rotation of the shoulder, all right? And then we're gonna move back in this position. So we're gonna extend in internal rotation, and now I'm stuck, I can't move. So what do? Now I have to rotate my hand round all the way back to the start, and that's 1 rep, okay? This is a full rotation of your shoulder joint, okay? You'll see that a lot of you won't have a good shoulder rotation because no one moves their shoulder through their full range. We're sitting at our desk every day and we're not actually moving our joints. See, so we go up, extend out, keep extending. Most people, they just let it go here and they just go back here. You gotta keep twisting. It shouldn't feel comfortable. Keep twisting that shoulder, keep twisting until you land here. The back of your hand should be facing the outside of your thigh, and we're gonna go back and up. Okay, I'm gonna do the side version for you. So ideally, your bicep should be past your ear. This is the ideal shoulder flexion, like right here, see? But if you're trying to get there and you're pushing your ribs out, that means you're not using your shoulder. That means you're using other joints to get you into that position, which means that your shoulder is not actually doing the work, all right? So only do what you're comfortable with. If you feel pain, very important, if you feel pain on the closing angle, so if I'm lifting my shoulder up and I feel an impingement here, that means you have a closing angle joint pain, and that means you need to see a functional range assessment coach, okay? And I'll probably link below to these people if you're in America or UK or the Western world, because this is called aberrant joint function, which basically means that your joint's not working as a joint, so you need to see a specialist, all right? So that's if you're feeling pain. If you're not, just keep going, and then rotate, rotate, rotate. Just think about rotating that bicep away from your head, and then we go back, okay? So I normally do 5 each side. You need to do right hand to show you. So this is just an instructional video. It's like an educational one. And then the next video will be a follow along, just so you can follow what I'm doing. All right, so after we've done the shoulders, now we do the elbow joint, okay, right here. So what we're gonna do, get our elbows against our body. We're gonna pronate and supinate. There. Up, down. Imagine you're pushing something away from you, right? So we're going to want to create tension. So we can make this easy or we can make it hard. So I'm bracing, and imagine the air just got 20% denser. So I'm pulling through 20% dense air, okay? And then twist at the top. Make sure that your palms are facing. Some people can't rotate, pronate and supinate their elbow joint, like me. But over time you will get better at this, okay? And the reason why we do this is because if you're grabbing a straight bar but you can't pronate your hands, what's going to happen is over time your elbow is going to take most of that pressure and it's going to start overworking, and then you're going to get elbow injury, okay? And that's what happens to a lot of people because we don't use our elbows. All right, now that's elbows. Now we're going to do wrists. So what we're going to do, take your right hand, put it underneath your left wrist, keep your left palm straight. I'm just going to rotate. Imagine that you got your phone on your forearm. We don't want our forearm to move, okay? So it's like this. Most people, when they do this for the first time, they will start moving their arm, okay? You want to make sure you're just focusing on your wrist, focusing on extending, flexing up, going round, down, flexing up. You'll feel cracking, you'll feel all types of shit going on in your joint. That's normal. We don't move our wrists. And then we do 3 each side, like that. And that's wrists, okay? Let's do this really quick on the right side. You want to go slower and make sure you're controlling it, okay? These are called controlled articular rotations. Make sure you're controlling that joint. You're going to feel cracking, but over time, it's going to get better. And make sure you're keeping your forearms locked and straight. All right, so that's wrist. Now we're going to go on to the hardest one, which is hips. For this one, I'm going to show you the easiest one, which is for most people. It's called quadruped. So we're going to get down on our knees. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to lift our right knee towards our chest, like this. So first we're going to brace. Make sure everything's tight. Right knee to the chest, out to the side. And then from here, we're going to think about getting our heel to the sky whilst keeping our knee in the same place. So our knee's actually going to go down a little bit and our heel's going to go to the sky. Like that. Little rotation. And then we go back, knees joined together, and then we extend our knee back. And then as we extend our knee back, we're going to think about twisting our knee round. Imagine there's like a trash can right here, and we're going to twist our knee around it. All the way around. And that's one rep, okay? We'll do that again. Knee to the chest, out to the side, heel to the sky. Want to rotate that hip, get into internal rotation. Knees joined together, extend back, all the way round, 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 as high as you can, and that's 2 reps. Okay, I'm going to show you that on the left side. So in the quadruped position, brace, pack the air down in your stomach, knee to the chest, out to the side, rotate. See here, most people just like put their knee up like that and move their back, right? You want to make sure you're just moving your hip. You don't want to move your back as much, right? Just focus on moving your hip. So if I'm focused on moving only my hip joint, the only thing rotating is my hip here. That's it, my lower back's not moving. I'm rotating my hip, getting my heel to the sky, knees dropping a little bit, knees come to join each other, push back, and then here, I could compensate and just go like this, move my whole back, right? See, I move my whole back to do that. But I just want to focus on moving my hip. So trying to get my leg round without moving my back, focusing on just moving my hip and lifting it as high as I can. You see that? It's much harder, all right? So that's the hips. That's the biggest one for most people because most of us don't move our hips. We're sitting down at a desk 24/7. We don't move our hips. We're sitting at restaurants, we're sitting at home watching TV, we're sitting at work, in the office, and we're sitting fucking everywhere. We're always sitting. We don't use our hips. Hip replacements are not normal, okay? They're for people that don't move their hips. If you don't use it, you lose it, all right? So this is how you mitigate getting a hip replacement. If you move your hips every day. The advanced version of that is you grab onto something and you move your left foot, right? So you're gonna grab onto whatever you have. This is the advanced version. Lift the knee up. You brace first, so you pack the air down. Pack the air down, brace, tense, lift the knee up, out to the side, and then we're gonna rotate our heel backwards, and our knees come to join together, move back, and rotate all the way around, and that's 1 rep, okay? So this is the advanced version if you prefer this one. So you lift the knee up, out to the side, and then from here, you don't want to move your back, you just want to think about rotating your heel to the back, but keeping your knee in the same line as it is, okay? So you want to rotate, you're going to feel it here, you're going to feel it a lot. And that's good, because that means your joint is working. You're actually strengthening your joint, okay? It's not going to feel comfortable, but this is part of strengthening your joints, okay? This is how you're going to help all the exercises that you do are going to be helped by doing this routine, all right? So next we're going to sit down, we're going to do knees. All right, so knees. So what we do is take your left hand, place it underneath your right knee, and then place your right hand over your right knee. Okay, now from here, I want you to lift up your leg, and then we're gonna just go to the left and move it on tibia. If you place your hand here, you'll feel your tibia moving. So if I move my foot to the left, inwards, I'm gonna feel this rotate right here, this bone right here. It's called a tibia. It's your shin bone, it's just connected to your knee. all right? So when I rotate out to the right, when I rotate to the left, I'm feeling it moving, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend in this position. So put your foot out to the right and extend up. We're not gonna lock out the leg, just shy of lockout, and then we're gonna go to the left and then down. So right, extend up, left, down. Right, extend up, left, down. And you should feel it moving. Right, extend up, left, down. Right, extend up, left, down. Okay, so just a few reps on that leg. And we're gonna do the same on the left leg. Extend up, left, down. Extend to left, down. Extend, down. Extend, down. Now this next one I'm gonna show you is best standing up. We're gonna do ankle rotations, okay? So you wanna hold onto something, lock the leg, lock the knee, and just focus on rotating the ankle joint as much as you can, all directions, 360 degrees. Just focus on rotating that ankle. Go slow, keep it at an even pace. 1 mile per hour is fine. Just focus on rotating that ankle. And you go anti-clockwise as well. Okay, next leg. Point the toe. And rotate. You'll feel cracking, but this is what. Try not to move the leg as well, all right? So that's that. So next is toes. I have to take off my shoes for this. So you want to take off your shoes for this. You don't have to do this every day, but I advise you do it every day. Okay, so toes. So you can see my toes, yeah? So what we're gonna do, all 5 toes are down. You're gonna make sure you're looking at my toes. So we're gonna lift our big toe up, keeping our 4 toes on the ground. Big toe up, 4 toes on the ground, okay? Now down, big toe up, 4 toes on the ground. 4 toes down, big toe up. Now, big toe down, 4 toes up. Without arching inside like this, okay? Most people, what they do, they arch their leg inside when they have to put the big toe down and keep the 4 toes up. So we don't want to arch inside, okay? We don't want to bend and collapse inwards. Now, all toes up, big toe down by itself. All toes up, big toe down by itself. All toes up, big toe down by itself. Now, you're probably wondering, like, why are we doing this? Like, why the fuck are we moving our toes? Well, the reason why is because most of our toes are in a cast every single day by way of our shoes. And we're supposed to move our toes like our fingers, right? And if you're a runner, if you do any sorts of running or movement or walking, like, we should have toes that actually accommodate our walking, right? So our toes should be fit for all of that. So lift up all toes, spread them out, and then collapse from pinky down to the big toe, like a piano. So lift them up, 5 toes up, collapse down like a piano. 5 toes up, collapse down like a piano, okay? Now 5 toes up, now big toe down, and then collapse outward. So big toe down, and then try and collapse outward. This one's really hard. So big toe down first, and then try and collapse. So big toe down, middle toe, and out to toes. All right, so that's toes. And then the last one, and again, this is like one of the most important ones. It's called spinal segmentation. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go in the famous cat-cow yoga position, like this. And we're trying to control each vertebrae of our back, all right? So imagine I'm trying to move each piece of my back at one time. So it's like segment by segment, okay? So I'm not moving my whole back. I'm trying to move like one part of my back at a time. So lower back to middle back to upper back to cervical spine, which is my neck. All right, so let's do this. So I'm in the I don't know, I forgot what it's called, this position, but either a cat or a cow, wherever. Anyway, so I'm gonna curl my lower back first, and then mid back, upper back, cervical spine. At first, you're not going to be able to control it because your body doesn't know how to control your to control your spine, because we never use these signals. We're never sending signals to control our spine. So our body has no idea how to do it. But this is the key. Every single day, if we practice this, over time, we're gonna get better at it. And we're gonna create those neural pathways between our brain and our spine. And then we're gonna be able to move our spine, which will help with everything we do. Like, forward bending, any exercise we do, throwing our back out, it's gonna basically help create a more resilient spine, right? So from here, I'm here, right? Now I wanna go back, extend, upper back, mid back, lower back, and then back, lower back, upper back, mid back, cervical spine. And that's it, that's a wrap. So that is controlled articular rotations, and that is the morning mobility routine I do every single day, every single morning. As I said before, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes if you're just doing it without explanations. This was an intro video, so you probably got a lot of questions, which you can let me know what questions you have. But I'm going to do another video showing you just a walkthrough of what we just did. All right, so stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed it.